a little consideration, and I would like to shape the head a little more before we get into the mouth area. I want to remeasure. Get my tools out of the way here. This time I want to take the ears out. I put the ears in for the sake, of course, of being a little more panicky, paranoid, and we can see that we can still take quite a bit off. Where's our center line? Am I out of the picture here? Let's get the center line back in. And while I'm at it, I'm going to shape it a little better too. Every once in a while we do have that sort of a design shift or redesign. I mean, I certainly don't want to put the smile in, or the smile, the mouth in, and then it will affect the shape by where is a nice V tool out here to help me clean up here. There, that's a little better. I guess I didn't press down hard enough. Again, it kind of feels, oops, I'm sorry. Kind of feels a little unnatural carving this way. Okay, that's getting to be a little better now. Sorry about that, but like I said, it does kind of get almost to the point of being a little picky. Now, you could... What we could have done, I think maybe I might be going a little overboard as far as getting more precise measurements, as opposed to, well, you can carve it and it kind of looks, it looks good this way kind of a thing. It looks good that way. But I do get a little extra precise in some of my measurements, because I would like for it to look as nice as possible. So it's up to you. You want to have it sort of a girl-ish looking face and be happy, but I'm getting a little more with the measurement. Okay, let's start getting the mouth in. This is going to be, to me, this is the most difficult part, because again, there's going to be a lot of picking. And it's this area here that's going to be the most difficult, because we have to use a chisel. Maybe later on you could probably use some sandpaper, but we have to use a little bit of a, to make this look smooth. I'm just going to put kind of a mouth line in there. How does that look? Again, the bottom of the lip is going to be lower than the top of the lip. I'm going to detail knife started here. And again, I'm going to carve, I'm just going to carve a sort of like a stop cut kind of a thing where I'm going to cut this way because it's naturally I'm going to carve in this. It's like using a V-tool. You could use a V-tool on this if you want, if it's a nice sharp V-tool. But I like knives because it's not as perfect, and therefore it looks more natural. Turn this around. Oops, not too much. And again, don't pull it off. Make sure, because we don't want to rip anything out of there. Okay, there's a start. Now we're going to shape the upper lip, and that is we're going to take the tip of our knife, and this is about the only part that we can actually make a shadow or a cut. Is you're going to go around the nose just a little bit, just come down just, I don't know, 1/64 of an inch, not too deep. You can always deepen it later. I'm being careful not to rip anything out of there. Same with the other side. Now it looks like the nose is still pretty big. Well, the wings of the, or rather the nostrils are going to come out like this. But we're going to shape the nose a little later here as far as it being more thinner, feminine. I wonder if I can use I do usually use my visor when I do this, so. Now we're going to form to scoop up right here. In other words, continuing the cone shape of the mouth. See, how can I show that like that? Same with this side. And it's a scoop. It's not a straight line, it's a scoop up. Well, there's going to be a lot of, there's going to be a lot of cleaning up later, but I want to at least get the gist of it going. Now the upper lip is going to be, we can draw this in. Let's draw this in. Let's draw the lip in. A standard lip is going to kind of come out sharply. So there's going to be kind of like a little smile right there. And it comes up kind of sharp. It's kind of a little bit like the eye. It comes up kind of sharp, and then it kind of goes down slowly. Come up sharp, and then goes down slowly. Now the bottom of the lip, this is, we're just penciling in what we're going to round to. Because this is what we're going to round to. This is not, because we got the bottom lip is going to come down. There's that indentation right here. But this is just what we're going to cut to. I don't like that line. That line should be more in. Take our knife and go at a good, don't go too deep this way. Go kind of shallow this way. And you want to carve just the big part. A little bit to carve a lot for the big part. A little for that part there. Same with the bottom. Now we're going to go probably a good 45-degree angle. And if you look there, the good news is the lip looks pretty good, but the bottom is getting a little higher than the top. So I'm going to give that at least one more scoop. This way. And then redo my cut. There. How's that? Is that a little better? This is the time to take a look at the profile, and you want that bottom lip to be lower than the top lip. All right, kind of rounding it off a little bit. Again, here's where we're going to do a little bit of picking, shaping. I'm uncomfortable about this part of the upper lip. I want to bring that up more. Now we're going to continue doing a little more on the upper lip. We're going to go not on the line, just above the line, and we're going to scoop up. And we're going to go around as we scoop up. Same width on this side. Do a little more scooping on this side. Scoop up. I think I might have one side a little odd than the other. I'm not sure. Let me get that out of there. Again, you will probably see that because the camera picks this up a lot more. You're saying, what the heck is he doing? Yes, and that is true, as I still need a little bit. Is that a little better? Ooh, when you look at this way, make sure you move it all around. They're not even. Well, that's because I lost this side here. Let me trim that a little bit. And then bring it back by scooping again. Does look a little better, but again, this is really getting into the picking stage. This is where you really want to have a good sharp detailing knife. And this is a little deeper on this side than it is on this side, which the other side is correct. We want a more cone shape. A little better. Don't look at the nose. And I see the nose is really way off, but we'll get to it. Okay, there we started the lip. Now we could make the lip a little more larger by coming back and now here we go with the bottom lip. This is going to be a little difficult. Now the bottom lip, I'm going to go it almost flat, a little bit towards the mouth. It's almost flat. We're just rounding that off. And again, we're going to come back to trimming and futzing. And now you want to take your knife or a chisel. You can use a chisel. I'm more successful with the knife. And we're going to carve in this little, this right here. And you could see that that little dimple is not in the center between the mouth and the chin. So it's a little higher, so it's about like 70, I'd say 65, 35% ish. Now again, you could use a chisel, and some people, I mean, especially when you do Native American face, you probably could use a chisel. But I'd like to have a little control, and you're going to cut pretty narrow or pretty shallow, very shallow. This is something that I learned the hard way. And let's get that out of there first. See, we're just starting. Now we're going to continue around, but see, the thing is that the bottom lip goes up and disappears. So Here I wanted to make sure that we had more lip. We're going to open that up a little more. We're still going to do some adjusting. But as we continue scooping, I'm going to go closer and closer to the mouth until it disappears. Again, there'll still be adjusting. Same on this side here. Make sure it's very shallow. You're going up until it disappears. Getting there. Still a little more shaping. Now the bottom, this bottom lip does kind of go in a little bit like this. Going to turn in and then make that disappear again. Disappear. We want this to come up just a little bit, in which it made that appear. The bottom lip up here. We want to take it away again. Getting there. Now I'm pretty happy with it right now. Again, we can do a lot more of this and that. Maybe make this just a little deeper here. Oops, I put a sharp cut in there. I don't want that. We'll have to adjust that later. And then the chin is going to come around just a little bit. Just take it off by a little bit. Okay, let's get back to shaping the face. Now, like what we did to the eye, we're going to go at a 45-degree angle like this, and we're going to cut this in. That's a scoop. Like that. 45, that's a scoop. Like that. Of course, we're still going to be narrowing that out, but we're doing one little piece at a time. Okay, now I want to start going back up again. We're going to start shaping the nose a little more. And the head, getting ready for the eyes. Now, the way I like to do the nose, I'm going to carve in a nostril. It's going to be a scoop. Nostril's there. I'm going to go down kind of sharp and then scoop up just to get it started. Nostrils here, scoop down and pull up. I'll go like this. Yeah, it was kind of bad on this side. I noticed that. I should have done that first, sorry. Now we're gonna scoop that a little more, a little better later. Okay, now I want to keep shaping around the eyes, around the cheek a little bit, because I'm gonna put my knife down shortly here and get the chisel back out. But I want to do this around a little bit. I'm doing a little cleaning here. Take that cheek. I don't want the cheek to be too high up, but I don't want it to be too far down either, just like that. Same thing, 45. Oops. See, how's the shadow? Shadow looks like I need to do more this way. One more scoop of that I did before. I mean, that has happened to me a lot of times, is that, oops, I took too much on one side, and then you got to kind of straighten it out for the next side. So it's more symmetrical. Now we do want to bring this around, because when you take your carving and after you put the eyeball in, you should, when you have it at a full profile, you should be able to see the eyeball. Now I need to straighten this out a little bit, because this is deeper than this. I'm sure you saw that. And again, I'm coming at this angle. little better. Still need some cleaning, but just cleaning a little bit. I think the eye line is a little higher in this one, so again, I want to be careful. We want to have this eyebrow area, I want to say wide this way, not sharp down, because we don't want her to look like she's angry. Of course, if you want to make her look a little angry, oops, I did put a little dink in there. I'll have to smooth that out. Yeah, we're starting to get in kind of in the picking stage here. Again, you could turn the video off and just kind of pick at it. The nose is still going to be shaped a little more, but pick at it so it's like this. Turn the video back on. Okay, I want to set in the hairline right away before we lose that. Now, one of the things I want to be careful, the difference between these two, is this one here I got kind of a little too high, and this one, I think this one's pretty good. Get everything out of the way, clean up. So it's going to be like about here. And it depends on how you want it. I'm gonna do the standard this way. I mean, I've got one where the line comes this way and you go this way. And it'd be nice. You should try something like that in which you can leave a lot more wood, in which you can have the hair kind of come down, covering the face. But this is just a little standard, regular style. Is that in far down far enough? I'm gonna be a little paranoid here and give it a little more. Again, we can always cut that away. And hair is relatively imperfect. I mean, you can see how I got this is kind of shallow and this is more curved. We can straighten it out. You can do whatever you want. I'm just going to do it just so it's easy to follow along, I guess. Okay, we're going to create a stop cut. Come back around. Is there good? Come out of there. What am I missing? What's it hanging on to? There we go. Which one do I want? I want the bottom one. Smooth that out just a little bit. Now we're going to go a little bit in this angle here. And I think maybe we can take some of that off, but I'm not sure. Yeah, the temple is going to come up a little bit. It's going to round off a little bit that way. I'm going to leave that for now. Okay, how's the head? We got to get back to the nose again. I want to do a little more of a scoop here. I can see that this is a little higher over here. Again, if we're more comfortable with the chisel at this point. Now there are some women's faces that this may come to a crease. Younger women, but I just like to have as little creases as possible. Looking a little better, getting there. Okay. Okay, I want to thin the nose a little more. Watch that tip. Nose is still pretty big. We're just trimming down. And what we want to do is make sure we did have that nostril in there. See if I can ding things up to pull it out. Then, again, if you want to chisel, you want to scoop this way. Scoop out of there like that. Take a little scoop out of there like this. Getting there, but still. Now I think then we're going to have the chisel to take care of the rest. Again, we got our little number 9. Oh, careful. I hope I didn't take too much of the nostril. I think I may have taken the nostril off there a little bit. And if we're not too happy with the nostril, if it's too big or too round this off a little bit. Now again, the nose again is still a little too big. I want to put that aside for now. I'm going to start aiming a little bit and getting the face ready. Actually, let's clean up the cheeks a little bit. Chisel or knife, whatever you feel comfortable with. I'm sure there's other people out there who's got a better or faster way of doing this, but I'm kind of one who likes to pick a little bit, make sure that it is right. I think more after I make like a 1,000 female faces, then I'll come out and, yeah, you chop here, you chop there, there it is. But I'm trying to show it's sort of a beginning point of view is that how you can change something around. You got to pick at this and pick at that. Like I said, when we put the smile in, that's what I had to do. I had to, oh, where's Smiley there? That's what I really had to do. It took me a while to try to figure that out and pick. And there's still more. I think the bottom lip is still a little too big. And then I thought, well, okay, let's do this. And then it just gets to a point where, okay, I'll try another one of these and then another one. And probably about the 10th one, I'll take a chisel and whack here, whack there, it's done. But I just wanted to show you this way where you can create faces by chipping just a little here and chipping a little there. Okay, I didn't want to. I wanted to start shaping get the eye ready. Well, I want to get the eye ready. Still work with the eye socket a little bit here. Carving in the eyeball itself is going to be one of the last things. I want to make sure that everything else is in place first, because you certainly don't want to get it to a point where, oops, and then you have to take the eye right out of there. So this is the time, maybe turn off the video and just keep cleaning up here and cleaning up there. And this thing, I see there's too much, there's more cheek right here. Keep bringing it around different angles. I mean, there's probably a little bit of chip in here and oops, sorry. Okay, I just want to kind of take a break from all this chipping and let's get into the hair. What do I want to do with the hair? Round this off a little bit. Be careful I don't whack off more than I should. I do hate corners. Hanging on to corners. Ooh, what's that? I'm going to round this back a little bit. Still got a long way to go to whack off some of this hair. Now, according to my pattern, you see how the head kind of comes down a little bit. You see by the detail where it's the back of the head is a little higher than the front of the head. So you want to keep that in mind when you're starting to whack away on the top of the head here. Still high here, but then come down a little bit. Make sure we're not whacking off too much. Come on this side here. Still keeping the back of the head a little higher. Might still be a little higher than we want, but okay, one thing I want to do, I want to put kind of a, I want to say a dimple in the hair. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, because the head is still, you know, thin enough in which that, going to put a dimple just around. This is going to be a kind of a scoop. Said it's a scoop. kind of good getting back to really whacking on the wood. Because I like details too, but because what's going to happen is that the hair comes up and down a little bit. So there's going to be still more hair on top here because it's coming up. Where here kind of lays a little bit. I mean, it does lay when it's on top. You look at it, you'll see it's going to lay, but it does kind of tend to come up a little bit. We want to make sure that we create something like that. I want to put some character in this hair. I'm going to put a scoop. I want to be careful I don't hit anything else. I'm going to put just a scoop right here. Not too much, I still want to leave a little bit of that.